welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Europa Universalis 4 in our chill Ottoman game, where we're going to try to deal with the crisis. Now, there's a couple different things we can do to try to mitigate some of these crisis problems right away. One, right there, the Islet Rebellion. If our stability is at least 3, the islets won't rebel. Stability is at least 3. The islets won't rebel. Or... oh, we gotta get all 3 at the same time. So I need to get the Liberty Desire down on the 3rd islet, which I think we can do as well. We need the legitimacy back up. That's pretty easy to do. Because we can just do a quick strength and government check here. And actually, we got military power to there, so we'll go ahead and do that a couple times. Get up to max. There we go. That one's not progressing. It really needs at least reach 30 years of age for this one to completely clear, or to be turned back off again. And then the Pashas... we got 4 years to deal with this, or wait until the average autonomy drops below 15, which might not happen. We'll see. So the Pasha is the only one that might actually start up. I think there's some stuff we can do to calm down Sweden, for example. Okay, I suppose we can develop a couple of their provinces to get them the rest of the way down. The game moving. Yeah, you'll still back out again if we get Sweden below 25. There you go, Sweden's 21. So the Islet Rebellion is basically stalled. Pasha Decadence is the only one of these that we're worried about advancing at this point. Okay. Is that a rebel on us or a rebel on one of our subjects? One of our subjects. So it's increased the likelihood that we would the Pasha one as well. Oh, can we... it may make sense now to start reeling in... get some of our absolutism back. Okay. Gave us a little bit of our absolutism cap back. Now let's go around. See autonomy. See if that can delay the Pasha one as well. We get below average of 15, the Pasha one will be delayed. And yeah, we definitely are in a fair dealings plus 50 opinion with a bunch of people. Cool. Are definitely in a good position to clear some of these as soon as 50 years passes. Oh, I suppose we can raise a few more Janissary regiments to make the Janissaries happier. Not that the Janissary disaster is ticking. Okay, we're not going to worry about that for the moment, because we need to wait for 3 years to pass. We'll try to raise the loyalty when it's like 3 years out. Or when we've got the 3 years passed. It does look like most of the State House is finished, so we're not going to get a lot from that then. That's what that works out to. Okay. There's a couple more we can get that will be having some benefit. Yeah, looks like we want to get governing capacity under control. We're going to have to destate some stuff. Though this isn't as bad anymore. This is a lot better. So maybe we're not in as much of a rush to do that, as I was thinking. That's the easiest way to see what my average autonomy is. Average local autonomy of 5.2%? Interesting. Ah, amount above minimum. So that would be a different workaround, is I suppose I could destate a bunch of stuff. And that would swap a lot of stuff back to min. Because their min would be higher than their current. But yeah, we're basically waiting for the disaster to have been happening for 5 years, or for 3 years, so we can clear some of these. Harem plot will clear when our guy gets to 16, so that's 14, so it'll probably clear because we'll be clear this one, which I think ends the plot of Harem when we do it. Too worried about those peasants. Yeah, so out of these, the one most likely to happen is this one, which is going up 2% a month, so 50 months. We might be able to bypass it because that's not fast enough for it to trigger in 3 years. Though that will require getting an additional admin somewhere. Additional admin income somewhere. So there we go. You can't see the Steam overlay, so I'll go ahead and bring it up in the in-game. That was the first time I have achieved definitely the Sultanate of Rum, which is have as cores Rome, Moscow, Istanbul as either Ottomans or Rum. That's my first time doing it as the Ottomans. Usually I don't conquer as far as Moscow, to be fair. Or Rome, one of the two. Usually in most of my playthroughs I go one way or the other, not both. (1815) Yangtze River floods. I probably own some of that river now, so I'm getting told about it as well. Yeah, so this might be an easy disaster. Right now, most of the problems aren't significant problems that are actually causing a severe issue. Though I could definitely see if you weren't prepared for it, some of these spiraling out of control. Not quite had it for 3 years. There we go, there's 3 years. So we can regulate the harem. That removes the 1 legitimacy penalty that we're basically getting from the decadence disaster. Okay. And then the reign of women. We've got regulate the harem completed. We have legitimacy. We don't have any pretender rebels. We've got stability of 3. We have a siege of 100, so we don't need court ideas. Cool. The now modernized Ottoman government reform will feature the harem mechanic. The alternative result here, if we were in the middle of the disaster, is we could get rid of the harem, and the monarch would have 1 wife. But no, we get to keep the harem. Pilot crisis. It's not in crisis, so we can get to press this button. Then we need to get absolutism back up to 70. It's on its way up. If anything, that's telling me I need to pull a couple more items off. In the millet system. I suppose we... If we're just trying to get up there, I can probably give away... Actually, we'll give away the duchies. Take the duchies away. And then we just have to get back up to absolutism 70, which is pretty plausible. Then we need Janissary loyalty up to 80. We could actually do that by selling titles. So we've handled the Janissaries. Different shackle. Have 25 discipline, land morale of at least 5, or the total army at least 80% of the force limit. There we go. Fate of the Derbyshire. The Derbyshire system has proven its value over the years and it serves as the main source of new Janissary recruits for our armies. Our time on the system has been increasingly ignored as Muslim families smuggled their own children into it in favor of a better future for them. Nowadays, the Derbyshire is no more but a name of a past way of conscription. Its apparent reformations are much needed. The conservative side of the government is in favor of overhauling it, with the military staff is in favor of abolishing it entirely, introducing a new general conscription. Time is over, introduce no way recruits, or it's proven its worth in the past, which I'll do again in the future. Influence is lower than 40, does not have it. Okay. Let's press this button. Lost Ghazi warriors. And Derbyshire system is no longer available. Okay. So we got Ottoman conscription instead of Ghazi warriors, which is no longer an option there. And sec ban instead of the Derbyshire. Ban Derbyshire. I think we're on. We may not have been on it. Oh no, we were on Ghazi warriors instead. So it moved from there to there. It moved from one of the other ones to here. And then we need the Janissary influence below 50, get up to the force limit, and then have 12 military power. That's giving you a little bit of influence. Wait, let's drop that anyway. Okay, that got you into 40. So now we just need to get up to the force limit and get to 12. 12 is pretty easy to do, because that's just admin. Or just focusing military for a bit. Okay, so let's build up the army. We're apparently short on army units, given the size of our nation. Yeah. Okay, that's not a very tenable way to do that. Let's create a template that does like 20 at a time. It might weirdly actually be better to just drop the force limit instead of raise the troop count, honestly, at this point. Though it's not that we have a shortage of manpower or anything. We got plenty of manpower, and we got plenty of money. Just, apparently I need 2,000 more units of 1,000. I need 2 million more men under arms. Okay. Yeah, I'm honestly thinking it's actually going to be quicker to reduce the force limit than to try to build up to the force limit. That'll also help with the overextension issue, I suppose. Go a month and see what that does. Okay, that helped a little. It didn't help much. Oh, we were destating the small stuff. Okay, let's, don't want to destate everything, so apparently we are going to have to go with just recruiting more. I suppose I think the trick is going to be to make this a little bit more responsive. At least troops recruit reasonably fast. Let's create a template. Oops. Okay, so now that's recruiting only one province is a lot faster. Still giving us estimates of, okay, that'll only take 1,000 days. That's a lot longer. But I can at least go ahead and spam that a lot faster. And we can potentially overshoot by a few, like, 100. We got enough income, that wouldn't be an issue. At least it wouldn't be an issue quickly. Okay, so once about half of those recruited out will work. And once we have the troops recruited, we will do the transition over to the military one, so we can clear that. Then we can clear that one real quickly. I don't know how I'm going to get it up to 15 admin anytime soon. I think that's going to actually require like a monarch change. Get the other ones real quick. Oh, I can. We can keep corruption under control at this point. So root out corruption, please. So I suppose we're going to have the Pasha Rebellion one way or the other. Because I'm not in a good position to stop that. Because I don't think I can get the admin power. So we're going to see what this one does. The hard way. The way we ideally didn't want to see it, but we're seeing it. How's that military agreement going? Not quite there yet. Rapidly approaching there. Because every month or so we recruit hundreds of guys. At this point, it'll be a little bit annoying when I have to remember to turn it back on the next one. Let's turn armies off. Navy's off because there's too many. So we get a more usable panel here. Okay, we're now in a situation where if we get a Regent Council led by the Queen would actually provide us enough admin power that we might be able to clear the Pasha one. That's I think we're gonna have the Pasha one happen. Decadence of the Pasha. 22 political rebels rise up in Turda. Lose 1 prestige, really? That's okay. So that stopped. Complete the mission, oppose the Pasha, or mission oppose the Pasha are not available. Okay. Yeah, so something about the Pasha decadence might at some point give us more ruler admin, hopefully? Forty 43 rebels show up there? Okay. We can deal with that. How goes the recruiting? Not up to 100% of the force limit yet. It is a big force limit. It takes quite a while to get up there. Okay, the rebellion, not a serious problem. There's those wonders. Because we can. Take the stability there. KOTOR. Territory of Serbia, part of the Longkali fights for centuries. However, the Serbian identity has never yielded to our presence. Even to this day, proud Serbians are demanding additional autonomy. No. Okay, I'm going to swing to military. That way we can swap it over to admin sooner. Almost there. There we go. Modernize the army. Add the genocide coup. Or one of the following. All the following. One of the following have a military... 2 military groups done. Yes. 2 military groups done. Yes. Employ a military advisor at least 3. Stability 3. Genocide influence below 40. Which is actually hard to do, because they're currently at 42. And I don't think any of the ones that I have I can take away at the moment. Greek Rebellion in Selnak. Oh, a standardize a government reform. No. Maintain description. There's celibacy. Oh no, that one's salaries. Okay, celibacy, salaries, and loyalty. So I can't get rid of those 3. Which means I'm minned at 40. Unless something bad unless something removes them. And I think to remove them normally you need the bad thing to happen. Have a bad thing to happen. Or I need an event that lowers their power, their influence. Okay. Ah, Royal Favoritism would work. We'll activate that for a bit. There we go. Manage your army. So then we can go compromise the Janissaries. Centuries of infighting and corruption have led to the Janissaries experiencing decadence. Content with its increased influence meddling in Sultan affairs, they've become brazen and forgotten where their allegiance lies. Eventually, though, the Caliph and his Grand Viziers managed to come to an understanding with the Janissary cores. Convinced the Agas of the Janissaries of the new positions of official class in society, which allowed each member to be promoted to the position of noble or merchant. Though not as convenient as the previous privileges, the hierarchical change in the estate opens opportunities for the Janissaries who do not wish to serve as soldiers, while others who were born to fight can return their actual duties. So I'm going to do that, which unlocks reform to Janissary government reform. Or do okay. 10% special unit force limit, makes them cheaper, makes their loyalty higher, increases the maximum privileges. Okay. Okay, so we need absolutism to 70, and admin to 15. Oh, one of the subjects have a liberty desire higher than 10. Okay, solve that. So we got to take the province back, which that's easy enough to do. We're still waiting for absolutism to rise. It's rising 1 a year at the moment. Trying to do what I can to rapidly raise absolutism. is a rebellion in Zeta. So I'm pretty sure this is the Pasha one, making these rebellions. Okay. Is there any way I can get more admin power from over here? It's a question. From the government forums. That's Diplo power? No. Oh, there's monarch administrator skills. We can do dynastic administration. I'm not sure if that applies immediately, so that might apply to the next one. But we can eat the corruption effect. Okay, so we now got 11. Again, swapping to it bring us up to 14. So we still need a better Caliph is the problem. Okay, we'll go occupy that place again. And then we'll spawn the rebels. Interesting. Trying to think about how we're going to get through the rest of the disaster. We got a... Oh, one of the provinces is under the super region. Okay. Bring the artillery over and quickly take the fort back that way. Something going on is really making the game lag. My guess is it's doing something like checking like all the islets or something. See if they're rebellious. My devices haven't even heard of football? Oh, that's a bunch of rebels up there I didn't notice. Whoops. Whoops. And yeah, it didn't affect the current Ottoman ruler. It may affect the next one. We'll get +1 animate on that ruler. I just clicked through a place that said I have nationalist rebels somewhere. I should probably deal with. The question is, were they on me or were they in the New World? I'm guessing on me. Okay, we can get that screen real estate back. Another revolt in Selnak. Yeah, mostly speaking, the disaster hasn't been too bad. These revolts, sure, if we prep for them like we are doing here, we're just sending units into the area, then it's not really an issue. But yeah, the lack of 15 admin is the probably the biggest of the issues, actually, honestly. Because right now I don't know how I'm going to clear this one. Because yeah, fewer rebel armies than one, absolutism 70 is that's just a time bump, or a time sink at this point. It's happening. Oh, there's here's a way that I'm thinking of. And we'll hold off until we can pick at least 32. Military tech 32. Should be able to pick it up next month. And then we'll start doing harsh treatment to raise absolutism faster. I think we're getting pretty close to the end date anyway, so we may not be able to complete the crisis in this save. Because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get the admin to complete, or the admin income to complete the crisis before the end date hits. Oops. Probably should have pre-positioned. Oh, we had some troops pre-positioned to deal with that. Okay. Yeah, 1833, we can swap back over to admin, and then we'll just be one short currently. So I suppose in the next 13 years, we're hoping just to get a better monarch. Oh. Ah, game actually ends in 1821, does it? Guess it does. Okay. Well, that is the end of the game. I don't know if there's a way to go overtime, but it looks like we are not going to be able to complete the crisis in time. We did experience the crisis. Let me move the task manager out of the way. So I hope you've all been enjoying. This is probably the end of the chill Ottoman run. We've made it to 03 January 1821. I was thinking we had a couple more years, because, what, I think Victoria 3 is 35? 1835 to 1935? So it's like 14, 15 years not covered by the gap between the two. But yeah, so this is where apparently it ends. So we weren't quite able to deal with the crisis. Yeah, I don't think the crisis was going to be an issue. It was just going to be a little bit tedious while we wait for a new monarch. To have the admin to clear. And I'm not sure if I had any more achievements that could have been done in that run. But yeah, this is where this one ends. We'll hit quit there. And it does relaunch Europa Universalis. Okay, so we can't continue the Iron Man save past that point is what's happening. Okay. Or there's a continue game. That one's a hit continue game on that. Honestly, I haven't tried to continue the game past the end date before. Okay, so it allows us to load back in and we can see the end game screen. Let's see the timeline. We're not going to play the timeline. Is there a way out of here? No. Isn't a way out of here. See us growing, and the green is spreading. Oh, I guess it's showing the endgame colors for the colonies, not the concurrent colors. So it's showing them in Castilian green for their, or Ottoman green for the Ottoman green. Whatever reason. Yep, so that's the run. Okay. How do I get out of there? There we go. Played as the Caliph. Longest ruling ruler, ruled for 60 years. 241 of our wars ended in glorious victory. We ended 0 wars into graceful defeat. We did suffer a couple defeats because our allies got defeated. We destroyed 161 nations. Okay. So yeah, I hope you've been enjoying. If you've been watching the entire series or just watching this last video. In the end, we did not manage to complete the Ottoman disaster. Well, let us open up the... Is it the timeline? There we go. I don't think there's an achievement for completing the Ottoman disaster. The achievements we completed in this run are World Conqueror, This is the Silk Road, Laughing Stock, Georgia on my mind, definitely the Sultan Run, and Dar al-Islam. I believe that's the first time I've done all of those. Mostly because things like Georgia on my mind, you gotta get 3 different geographical regions, and I haven't conquered that way before where I would get both of those. This is the first time as the Ottomans that I've got both Rome and Moscow. I've definitely had runs where I've got Moscow, definitely had runs where I've run Rome. This is the first time I've had both. This is the first time I've conquered the world. I thought I had done the Silk Province one. I think we were doing a run and then stuff came up and never finished it for the Silk one. I think I realized that I needed to, like, some European Silk Provinces to spawn, so I had to go into Europe. We're not doing that in this save, not doing that in this save. I don't think there's an achievement for completing the Ottoman disaster. So we tried to do it just to see how bad it would be. That's kind of what this part was. So it's a little bit of a longer episode. It's not a 30-40 minute episode. It's an hour and 10 at this point because I wanted to... Well, last when we triggered it, we saw what the requirements were to complete it. This one we tried to complete it and didn't manage to do it in time. Again, I think really in the end it came down to we didn't have... Well, to get it to spawn rapidly, we had to tank our absolutism. I could have probably been a lot more gentle on lowering the absolutism to get it to go. In which case we could have probably cleared that path. And then the one path that we really had problems with required admin. So we needed the monarch to roll over to a new, more admin high monarch. We did not get that. Just scrolling through here to see what ones the game thinks we could even plausibly have done. Yeah, I don't see an achievement in there for completing the crisis. So we're not going to try to complete the crisis. We're going to call it good. This is where we're going to go ahead and end this race. If you're watching on YouTube, well, you cannot expect there to be another Europa Universalis video tomorrow because we just finished the series. At this rate, for you, if you like Paradox games, there should be a Victoria 3 video up for you tomorrow. In fact, there may be 2. Possibly 3. Depends upon how front-loaded I do the Victoria 3 upload. Because the plan is 4 days from now, I'm going to stream Victoria 3 as the Great Qing again in the new patch 1.9. I'm currently streaming, well, actually, it's still the 19th. It hasn't rolled past midnight yet. I would have expected actually to have rolled past midnight. We might start up a different game in a bit on the stream. To fill the void left over from finishing Shadow Empires and 2 Arts. But right now it's the 19th. 4 days from now, we'll start streaming Victoria 3 in 1.9 as the Great Qing. So we can compare 1.8 versus 1.9 and how the improvements in trade, hopefully, help with growing the GDP of Qing. That will be in 4 days from now, so that'll be on the 23rd. As everything goes, tomorrow should be the Long Dark. We'll probably finish up the second tail and then start heading back to Coastal Highway for restocking and refreshing and repairing all the gear. The day after that will be... Well, the day after that would have been Shadow Empire, but Shadow Empire is done. So it's going to be Terraformers. In fact, we might play a little bit of Terraformers in a bit. Yeah, so it'll be Terraformers. The day after that will be Field of Glory Empires. I think we worked out we've probably got about 35, 36 turns in it left. We're going to try to go faster, but that's sort of the expectations of where we're going to win in that one. And then the day after that is 4 days from now, which is Victoria 3. I believe when this goes live on YouTube, that's actually 6 days from now. So depending on how quickly I get Victoria 3 uploaded and scheduled for release, you may have one or more videos already available at the time you're watching this, and or they will be coming out tomorrow or something. It depends on how much overlap I decided to do, / how many episodes we tried to record of Victoria 3 on that first night. So if it ends up being a late recording night, it may get delayed a little bit. Because I'm going to record at least 4 parts that night, but if I record more than 4, and I have time to upload them, they'll get pulled forward a little bit to front load you a little bit. So there may be some overlap with this Europa Universalis 4 run and the beginning of the Victoria 3 run, or there may not be. I'm not so sure. That's future me's problem in 4 days, and it's not 4 days from now. So yeah, with that, I wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next one, whether that be a YouTube video or a Twitch stream. Bye for now.